There's a sentence almost every person on earth has said to themselves at least once. It sounds responsible, it sounds mature, it even sounds like a plan. I'll save once I earn more. It feels true in the moment. Right now, money is tight, there are bills, there's rent, there's that one subscription you forgot to cancel. So obviously, once the raise comes, once the promotion happens, once you land that better job, that's when the saving starts. That's when you finally become the responsible version of yourself you keep promising to be. Here's the strange part. Millions of people say this exact sentence every single year. And a huge number of them never actually start saving once they earn more. Their income goes up. Their bank account doesn't. Somehow, the extra money just disappears into a life that costs exactly as much as the income allows. So what's actually going on here? Is it laziness, bad math, poor willpower? Not exactly. What's happening is something much sneakier, a psychological trap so well disguised that most people never even notice they've fallen into it. And by the end of this, you're going to see it everywhere, maybe even in your own life. Let's start with a simple truth about the human brain. It doesn't experience money the way a calculator does. A calculator sees $3,000 as $3,000. Your brain sees $3,000 as a feeling shaped entirely by comparison to what you had before, comparison to what people around you have, comparison to what you believe you deserve. This is the first clue to understanding the trap. Because when your income rises, your brain doesn't just register more money, it registers more room. More room to upgrade the apartment, more room to eat out a little more. More room to finally get the better car, the nicer phone, the vacation you've been putting off. None of these decisions feel reckless in the moment. Each one feels justified, even earned. You worked hard for this raise, don't you deserve to enjoy it a little? And that single question is where the trap begins to close around you. Economists have a name for this pattern. It's called lifestyle inflation, the tendency for spending to rise in step with income. But the name doesn't capture how invisible the process actually feels while it's happening. Nobody wakes up one day and decides, I will now spend all of my future raises. It happens in small, reasonable-looking steps. A slightly nicer apartment here, a few more takeout orders there. A subscription that felt like a luxury a year ago but now feels like a basic necessity. Each step, taken alone, looks harmless. But stacked together over years, they quietly consume the very income increases that were supposed to build your financial freedom. Now, here's where it gets more interesting, because the trap isn't just about spending habits, it's about how your brain defines enough. There's a well-documented idea in psychology called the hedonic treadmill, the tendency for people to quickly return to a stable baseline of satisfaction, no matter what happens to their circumstances. Get a raise, and for a few weeks you feel great. Then, slowly, the new income becomes your new normal. The thrill fades, and your brain starts scanning for the next upgrade that will make you feel that spike of satisfaction again. This is why so many people report the same confusing feeling. They're earning more than they ever have, yet somehow they don't feel any more financially secure than they did 5 years ago. It's not because the extra money vanished into nothing, it's because their sense of baseline moved right along with their income. The target keeps sliding forward, just out of reach, no matter how fast they run toward it. So when someone says, I'll save once I earn more, they're often making a promise to a version of themselves that doesn't actually exist yet, a future self who will supposedly have more. Self-control, fewer expenses, and a completely different relationship with money. But when that future income actually arrives, it arrives attached to a person who has the same habits, the same instincts, and the same emotional relationship with spending as before. The income changed. The person making decisions with it did not. This is one of the most overlooked truths in personal finance. Saving isn't primarily a math problem, it's a behavior problem. And behavior doesn't automatically upgrade itself just because a paycheck gets bigger. There's another layer to this, and it has less to do with individual psychology and more to do with the world we live in, a world that is, in many ways, engineered to keep you spending right up to the edge of your income, no matter how much that income grows. Think about how credit systems work. As your income rises, so does your access to credit. Higher limits, better loan offers, more, you're pre-approved, messages landing in your inbox. The financial system doesn't slow down to match your income increase with your savings goals. It accelerates to match it with your spending potential. It's not a conspiracy. It's simply how lenders make money. by extending exactly as much credit as your new income can plausibly support. And this connects to something else, the way modern life quietly recalibrates what feels normal as your income rises. When you were earning less, a modest apartment felt fine. A budget-friendly car felt practical. But once your income climbs, your sense of what feels appropriate for someone like you climbs right along with it. You start comparing yourself not to your past self, but to a new peer group, people who earn similar amounts, live similar lifestyles, and unconsciously set a new bar for what feels normal to spend. This is subtle but powerful, because it means the goalposts for living reasonably move as your income moves, and very few people ever notice the shift happening in real time. So if lifestyle inflation is the visible symptom and shifting baselines are the psychological mechanism, what's the deeper root cause? Why does this pattern show up again and again across different incomes, different countries, different generations? It comes down to a simple but uncomfortable truth. Most people don't manage money with a system, they manage it with intentions. And intentions are incredibly fragile against the pressure of everyday life. Saving once you earn more is an intention. It lives in the future, where it costs nothing and demands nothing. But once that future becomes the present, saving requires an actual decision, a specific, deliberate action taken before the money touches your daily spending. Without that decision built into the system, extra income doesn't sort itself into savings and spending. It simply flows toward whatever feels most convenient and immediately rewarding, and spending almost always wins that competition because spending offers instant satisfaction while saving offers only a distant, abstract benefit. This is why so many financial researchers and behavioral economists emphasize the idea of automating savings, moving money into a separate account before you ever see it in your main balance. Not because willpower is weak, but because willpower is expensive, and using it every single day to resist spending is a battle most people will eventually lose, simply through exhaustion. Removing the decision from daily life removes the daily fight altogether. But there's a reason this insight, even when people learn it, doesn't always change behavior. Because deep down, the promise, "I'll save once I earn more," isn't really about money at all. It's about self-image. It's a way of telling yourself, "I'm not bad with money, I just don't have enough of it yet." It protects your identity. It lets you avoid the harder, more uncomfortable question: are my spending habits actually the problem, regardless of how much I earn? That question is much harder to sit with. It's far more comfortable to blame the income than to examine the behavior. And that emotional shortcut is exactly why the promise keeps getting made, year after year, raise after raise, without ever quite being fulfilled. So does this mean income doesn't matter? Of course not. Earning more absolutely creates more opportunity to build financial security. But opportunity and outcome are two very different things. Opportunity is a door opening. Outcome depends entirely on whether you walk through it, and walking through it requires a decision made now, not a promise postponed to later. The people who do break this cycle tend to share one thing in common. They don't wait for motivation or self-discipline to magically appear at a higher income level. Instead, they change the structure around their money: automatic transfers, separate accounts, spending caps that are set once and forgotten. They make the decision a single time, at a moment when it's easiest to make, rather than fighting the same decision every single day for the rest of their life. Because here's the uncomfortable pattern this reveals. Your income can double, triple, even quintuple over your lifetime, and if your relationship with spending doesn't change, your savings can remain exactly where they started. The number in your paycheck goes up, the number in your future stays frozen. Not because you're incapable of saving, but because you were always waiting for a future version of yourself who was never actually going to show up on his or her own. So the next time you catch yourself thinking, "I'll save once I earn more," pause for a second. Ask yourself honestly, is this a real plan, or is it a comfortable story your brain is telling you so you don't have to make a harder decision today? Because the truth is simple. Even if it's not easy to hear, saving was never about how much you earn. It's about the decision you make before the money ever reaches your hands. If this made you rethink your own relationship with saving, I'd love to know, have you ever caught yourself making this exact promise to your future self? Let me know in the comments.